Hello everyone, welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Places in News. My name is Shubhangi Singh. In today's session, we will be covering some important places from the perspective of your exam. So let us start with the first global place that we are going to cover today, that is Mount Elbrus. Now Mount Elbrus has been in news because of an artificial avalanche which has stumbled across the Russian mountain. Now when we are talking about Mount Elbrus, this becomes important because of its location. Now if you go for the location, you will see that it is located between Western Caucasus and also Russia right here. And Mount Elbrus happens to be one of the highest peaks across the globe. It is part of the greatest Caucasus range which is present between the Black Sea and Caspian Sea. We can see it rightly placed here. We have Black Sea and then we have Caspian Sea on one side, and this is the range that we are referring to. Now it is also known for the presence of extinct stratovolcano within twin summits. Can you tell me in the comment section that what exactly are stratovolcanoes? Now when we are talking about the twin summits, it has two peaks, that is West Peak and East Peak. And it is also known for being covered by more than 2 glaciers, and it is also known for the drainage that feeds into rivers such as Kuban and the Bakshan river system, which are very important for the given region. Another important thing that you can understand from here, that how it marks a boundary between Georgia and Russia as a natural boundary. It is highly significant because it's the highest mountain in Europe and it is part of the 7 summits list, and it is a major freshwater reserve through the glacial systems which are present there. And that is why it serves as an indicator of climate change, especially in mid-latitude system. If the glacier systems are melting fast there or any changes, they are indicator that how climate change is real. And from the perspective of exam, it becomes very important for GS1 and also prelims, especially from the context of Caucasus geography, how Europe and Asia have a boundary and there are debates around it, and glacial geomorphology. Now on this note, we will be moving to the next place in news, that is the Irrawaddy river. So when we are talking about Irrawaddy river, it has been in news because India has launched a second nationwide dolphin survey which is expanding into Irrawaddy species. Now Irrawaddy species are not only limited to the Irrawaddy river, but let us try to understand where this river is located. So when we are talking about Irrawaddy river, it is a principal river which is present across Myanmar, formerly known as Burma, and it is formed by the confluence of 2 streams, that is Mali river and Namai river. Just the way Ganga is made with the confluence of 2 rivers. Can you tell me in the comment section which are those 2 rivers? And it has the length of more than 2000 kilometers. It gradually flows southward and comes and drains into Andaman Sea, where it makes a major, where it forms a large delta. It is also known for major tributaries such as Chindwin, Mew and Mithinge, and this is the basin which covers most of the central Myanmar, and it is the lifeline of this given region, which facilitates the agriculture and vegetation in this very area. Now when we are talking about Irrawaddy river, the significance, as I highlighted, that it is lifeline of Myanmar and the delta is a major rice producing region. Furthermore, the strategic inland waterway gives the regional connectivity which has further scope to be expanded, and this can help you in the exam from the perspective of the river systems which are present in Southeast Asia, delta formation, and also around GS2 when we are talking about water geopolitics. Now in this context, we will be moving to the next place that we are covering today, that is Dardanelles Strait. So when we are talking about Dardanelles Strait, it has been in news because Turkey is going to resume the traffic. The traffic was blocked in this strait because of tanker engine failure. Now if we are talking about the location of Dardanelles Strait, we have to understand that it is the connecting point between Aegean Sea and also Sea of Marmara, and that is why this is an important connection between Black Sea and into the Mediterranean Sea. So all the countries around it, if they want an outlet towards Mediterranean Sea, that means moving towards Western Europe or Asia, this is the main outlet which is present. Even though it has immense importance, it is a narrow strait which is present in northwestern Turkey and majorly controlled by it, and it separates Europe's Gallipoli Peninsula with Anatolia, that is Asian continent. It is part of the Turkish strait system, and these are important from the perspective of prelims, that is Bosphorus Strait and Dardanelles Strait. Now on this note, we will be talking about the significance of this strait because this is a strategic maritime choke point which is present between Mediterranean and Black Sea that I just showed, and it is governed by a convention, that is Montreux Convention, which was signed in 1936, which regulates the military shipping in this region, and it is very crucial for the movement of energy exports from Eastern Europe, and it is very crucial for the movement of energy exports especially from Eastern Europe, and also the naval movements for the landlocked other countries present there. From the perspective of exam, it becomes important as a location in terms of international straits, maritime law, and also geopolitical choke points which are in news for multiple reasons such as Strait of Hormuz, Bab el-Mandeb, etc. On this note, we will be moving to the next place that we are covering is Diego Garcia. So when we are talking about Diego Garcia, it has been in news because President Donald Trump, when he has been talking about his Greenland bid, he has cited and talked about this Indian Ocean island, that is Diego Garcia. So when we are talking about Diego Garcia, we have to understand that this is an island in Indian Ocean, Chagos Archipelago. Now it is located just south of Maldives. So if you see, this is mainland India, we have Maldives, and then just in south of Maldives we have Chagos Island, and there we have presence of Diego Garcia. Now this is important as in terms of geopolitics because it is a military base of US. The control is with United Kingdom. However, the sovereignty has been transferred by United Kingdom to Mauritius only 2 years back. That means this place was still fighting from freedom from the colonialism, and finally it came, but it still remains for the military usage. So it is part of British Indian territory, and it is one of the most strategic islands which are present in the Indian Ocean because this gives access to US to be present in Indo-Pacific and also counter other parties around. From this perspective, we will be moving to understand the significance of Diego Garcia. It is, as I said, a strategic US-UK military base which is present in Indian Ocean. The key hub operations which take place in West Asia and also Indo-Pacific come from this very island. This is the place which facilitates UK monitoring the major choke points around it, be it in Indian Ocean, where I am talking Bab el-Mandeb, Strait of Hormuz, and it is important for US for global naval projection. And this is the island which is very central for their presence, especially in Indian Ocean and Indo-Pacific geopolitics. From the perspective of an exam, it becomes important for the Indian Ocean strategy, maritime security, and also geopolitics, in which context it is being discussed as of now. Now on this note, we will be moving towards some Indian places that have been in news. Starting with the first one, that is Bor Tiger Reserve. So when we talk about Bor Tiger Reserve, recently it has got new gates so as to ensure that there is more tourism to this region. So if we are talking about tiger reserves, Bor is located in Maharashtra and it is part of central Indian landscape. It has been declared a tiger reserve very recently in 2014, and it comprises of Bor Wildlife Sanctuary also and surrounding buffer forest. So the name that we get of Bor Wildlife Sanctuary and Bor Tiger Reserve comes from the Bor River, which is a tributary of another important river of Maharashtra, that is Wardha River. Can you tell me in the comment section which river's tributary is Wardha River? On this note, we will be moving to the we will be moving to the significance. Bor Tiger Reserves acts as a corridor between Tadoba Andheri Tiger Reserves and also Painch Tiger Reserve, and it is important for the genetic connectivity which is present between these regions of tigers. This is the region which supports deciduous forest ecosystem, and from the perspective of exam, the tiger reserves are important, wildlife corridors are important, tiger conservation plans and also landscape level planning. On this note, we will be moving to the next place we are covering today, that is Neknampur Lake, which is present in Telangana. This has been in news because there was a hot air balloon emergency landing in Hyderabad. It has been told that it was false, but that landing took place in Neknampur Lake. So when we are talking about Neknampur, it is located in Hyderabad, Telangana. It is an artificial freshwater lake, or you can call it a tank reservoir as well. It is part of Musi River sub-basin. Musi is a tributary of Krishna River, and it has been used, this lake has been used for irrigation and drinking water purposes in this region. This is also a very good example of urban wetland ecosystems. Now when we are talking about the location, when we are talking about the significance of this particular lake, it is significant as an aquifer because it facilitates groundwater recharge and also flood moderation in this region. It is a habitat for migratory birds and also resident birds, and it serves as an important urban ecological resilient component of this region. From the perspective of exam, it is important for urban wetlands and water conservation and also urban ecology, that means for GS1 and also GS3. On this note, we will be moving to the next one, that is Kaziranga National Park. Kaziranga National Park has been in news because the Kaziranga elevated corridor is being talked about and how this can help in eliminating animal deaths, especially in this national park. So when we are talking about Kaziranga National Park, it is located in Assam, one of the most important ones. It is situated on the floodplains which are made by Brahmaputra River. It was declared as a national park in 1974, Tiger Reserve in 2006, and it also has the honor of being a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now the dominant landscape here is a mix of multiple things such as tall elephant grass, wetlands and also riverine forest. So if you can see, we are talking about the Brahmaputra River right here, and here we have Kaziranga National Park. On this particular image, you can also see that how it is situated on the flood plains of the Brahmaputra River itself. When we are talking about significance of this region, it is home to some very important biodiversity such as 2/3 of world's one-horned rhinoceros, and it also has high density tigers. It is also known for its natural flood-based grassland ecosystem, and it is a flagship site which is being used for floodplain conservation. From the perspective of exam, it is important from the mains as well as prelims as protected areas, floodplain ecology and species conservation. Now that was all from my side. Thank you so much.